Imagine this. The world is quiet, streets are empty, everyone is stuck inside, binge-watching shows and trying to figure out how to bake bread. This was the scene during the COVID-19 lockdown. For a man in Uganda, this quiet time was not about baking or Netflix. It was just another day trying to get by like everyone else. He was living his life, a normal life with friends, a place to call home and plans for the future. You know, the regular stuff we all take for granted until it's gone. It was a life filled with the usual ups and downs, but it was his. Then one day everything went sideways. An accident happened, a really bad one. During the lockdown when getting help was harder than ever, he lost his leg. Think about that for a second. The entire world is panicking about a virus, and this man is dealing with a life-changing injury. It wasn't a dramatic movie scene, it was a real painful moment that would change the course of his entire life. Suddenly, the simple act of walking became a monumental challenge. The future he had planned just a day before completely vanished. Losing a limb is a huge physical challenge, obviously. But the hits just kept on coming. After the accident, his world started to crumble in other ways. His money disappeared. You know how it is, medical bills pile up, and when you can't work, the income stops. The property he had worked for was lost. It felt like a terrible domino effect where one bad thing just kept knocking over the next. Everything he had built piece by piece was suddenly gone. It was a total wipeout, a complete reset he never asked for. And then came the toughest blow of all, the loneliness. The friends he thought would be there for him, the people he shared his life with, they started to fade away. Maybe they didn't know what to say. Maybe they had their own problems. Whatever the reason, he found himself alone. So here he was, with a physical disability, no money, no home, and no friends. It was rock bottom, a place so low, you can't even see the top. It's a place where most people would just give up. And honestly, who could blame them? So, what do you do when you've hit rock bottom? You can stay there, or you can start looking for a way up. This man chose to look up. He decided he was not going to be defined by his loss. He would write a new story. He made a brave choice. He decided to become a farmer. Now this wasn't some grand plan with a business loan and a fancy PowerPoint presentation. This was a decision born out of pure survival. He had to do something, anything, to pull himself out of that dark hole. Farming was the answer. He started with what he could get. No, he didn't have a huge herd of cattle or a massive field of crops. He had 17 goats. That's it, 17 local goats. And these weren't some special prize-winning goats. They were just regular everyday goats. He had no money, a disability that made physical work incredibly difficult, and a tiny herd of 17. The challenges were enormous. How do you build a future with so little? How do you farm when every step is a struggle? It seemed impossible. But this is where the magic happens. He didn't see 17 goats, he saw 17 opportunities, he saw a beginning. He knew he couldn't compete with big farms, so he had to be smarter. He had an idea. Instead of just raising the local goats, he decided to try crossbreeding. He introduced better goat breeds to mix with his local ones. This was his big bet. The goal was to create stronger, healthier, and more productive animals. It was a simple idea, but it was brilliant. It was about improving what he had, not wishing for what he didn't. This decision to crossbreed was the turning point. It was his first step from just surviving to actually building something. Slowly but surely, his herd started to grow. The new goats were more resilient. They grew faster. They produced more milk. His small flock of 17 began to multiply. Soon he had 30, then 50, and it kept growing. His farm was no longer just a patch of land with a few animals. It was becoming a real, thriving business, built one goat at a time. He was proving that you don't need a lot to start, you just need a smart idea. This farmer's success wasn't built on expensive technology or complicated methods. It was built on common sense and hard work. He focused on simple, low-cost solutions that anyone could use. He understood that to succeed, he had to keep his expenses down. He didn't have money for fancy equipment or expensive feeds, so he used what was available around him. He built shelters from local materials. He found affordable ways to feed his animals. His farm became a masterclass in doing more with less. It's a powerful lesson for everyone, right? You don't need to be rich to be resourceful. One area where he really shined was in caring for the newborn goats. He knew that the future of his farm depended on the survival of the young ones. He became an expert in newborn care. He made sure they were warm, well-fed, and protected from diseases. This attention to detail made a huge difference. While other farmers might lose many of their young animals, his survival rates were high. This careful, hands-on approach ensured his herd grew steadily. It showed that sometimes the most important investment isn't money, but your own time and care. And then, he expanded. The farm wasn't just about goats anymore. As his herd grew, so did his ambitions. He introduced chickens, then came the turkeys. Soon, he was planting crops. His farm became a diverse ecosystem. The different parts of the farm supported each other. The chickens provided eggs, the turkeys provided meat, and the crops provided food for both his family and his animals. He was creating a complete self-sustaining system. From just 17 goats, he had built a bustling, multifaceted agricultural enterprise. It was amazing to see. Here's the really clever part. He found a way to make a profit from something most people throw away: manure. Yes, goat poop became a source of income. He realized that the manure was a fantastic natural fertilizer. Local crop farmers were eager to buy it to enrich their soil. So he started collecting it, bagging it, and selling it. This created another stream of revenue for his farm. He was literally turning waste into wealth. This kind of thinking, finding value where others see none, is what separates a good farmer from a great one. Today, that man who started with nothing now owns more than 120 goats. His farm is a symbol of triumph. It is teeming with life, chickens clucking, turkeys gobbling, and crops growing tall under the Ugandan sun. The farm provides for his family and has given him a new sense of purpose. It's more than just a business, it's his comeback story. He didn't just rebuild his life, he built a better one. The accident that was meant to break him ended up showing him what he was truly made of. His life is a testament to the power of resilience. Farming completely changed his life. It gave him back his independence, it restored his dignity. He is no longer seen as the man who had an accident. He is seen as a successful farmer, a smart businessman, and a pillar of his community. The farm gave him financial security, something he lost after his injury. But more importantly, it gave him a reason to get up every morning. It gave him a connection to the land and a role to play in the world. He isn't just surviving anymore, he is thriving, and it is beautiful to witness. His journey has become a source of inspiration for so many people around him. His neighbors see what he has accomplished with so little. They see his simple methods and his incredible results. They are learning from him. They see that you don't need a huge loan or a fancy degree to start a successful business. You need a good idea, a strong work ethic, and the courage to start small. He is showing his community that disability is not inability. He is a living example of what is possible when you refuse to give up. His message to the world is simple but powerful. Start small, but think big. Don't be afraid to begin with just 17 goats or whatever your 17 goats might be. Don't let your circumstances define your future. Use what you have, be creative, and work hard. His story is a reminder that even after the darkest tragedy, there can be a triumphant new beginning. It's a story of hope, a story of practical ideas, and a story that motivates all of us to find the strength within ourselves to turn our own struggles into success.